great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Talladega Super Speedway lives up to its name. Of all the closed-circuit motorsports facilities in the world where sanctioned auto races are held, it is the fastest. Constructed by the France family 10 years after Daytona, Talladega was built slightly longer at 2.66 miles with steeper 33-degree banking, which guaranteed record-setting speeds. The pole speed for NASCAR's first race in 1969 was a stunning 199.466 miles per hour, almost 30 miles per hour faster than Indy cars were then lapping at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Rule changes in 1987 meant that Bill Elliott's 212.809 mile per hour lap will likely stand forever as the qualifying record at Talladega and for NASCAR as a whole. Talladega is still the fastest track on the schedule. It holds the record for the fastest 500-mile stock car race at 188.354 miles per hour, Mark Martin's winning speed in May of 1997, and produces some of the most exciting door-to-door racing every year. Talladega puts on 5 separate racing events each year and is host to the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Craftsman Trucks, and the ARCA Series. But tonight, it's the Jimmy Strong Memorial Race. The trucks with Numb Thumbs Gaming coming up next on HBR TV. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Welcome from wherever you're tuning in from here at HBR TV. I'm Steve Singer, bringing you tonight's race from Talladega Super Speedway. 70 laps. Got a 70% fuel load, 4 sets of tires over the wall for these drivers. Air temperature here at the Speedway, 76 degrees, low humidity, 37%, partly cloudy skies, bit of a breeze, 6 miles per hour. Track temperature up about 111, not likely to cause too much of an issue, if any whatsoever. Practice underway here at the Speedway, just about wrapped up. Let's go down trackside, see where everybody's stacking up so far before we get into qualifying. Fastest so far, it's Brandon Coleman, number 17. Got a couple already in the stream chat. We got John Buckley saying, "What's up to AAA Broadcasting?" Looks like they're racing tonight instead of broadcasting. Vincent Short, I don't think he's racing. I'm really surprised. Let's see, this will be a change, watching instead of racing. Yes, Vince is, well, he really does well here on the Super Speedways, but it looks like he's going to be assisting in the admin roles. You got Mike Fahey from the LSR side of things, Lone Star Racing, wishing LSR luck. Vince better not screw us. It's going to be a fun one. Those of you out there watching, Jessica Stubblefield, Stub Nation, you guys feel free to chime in the stream chat. It's open. Just keep it PG. There is, I think we got slow mode turned on, so you can only do one chat every 60 seconds or so. That kind of helps filter out some of the porn ads. Don't want those. I want to do a shout out here again to the sponsors involved in this tonight. Of course, Numb Thumbs Racing League putting this on. You got JP Designs and 3D Prints, Track Bar Media, Dep Graphics, Admin Box, Sim Central Gear, Davidson Builders, and Track Dogs Racing. With that said, there's some merchandise to be considered. Of course, the Jimmy Strong hats, you got t-shirts, you got hoodies, front and back. TrackDogsRacing.com. You can pick them up there if you're interested in purchasing. Again, all those proceeds go to the family. So chime in, get out that credit card, maybe buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy a hoodie, buy all three. Go for it. In these times, 50.84, that's fastest so far. That is likely, and 100%, there's no doubt about it. That's a draft lap. That is not a single truck lap. The Q runs that you're going to see here momentarily likely to be about 4 or 5 seconds slower than what we're seeing right now. But practice does strike 0 on the clock. We're going to jump right into qualifying pretty much right away. So it looks like Jeff Oninger may be the first one to roll here. Jeff out of Goodrich, Michigan. Takes quite a while to get these trucks up to speed with that Ilmor engine that many of them are running these days. Not quite the power that they used to be going back 10, 15, even 20 years ago when the series was relatively new. But more importantly, they're trucks. These things punch a massive hole in the air, big rear spoiler. These things are basically shaped like a brick. They're not the most aerodynamic machines out there, so definitely going to take some time to get them up to speed. Tapered spacer, restrictor plate, however you want to talk about it, but it does take some time with the reduced horsepower. Again, the other side of that coin, in the draft, because they're shaped like a brick, they make a huge hole in the air and they create a pretty big draft out the tail of those machines. So you can see a lot of runs being generated just simply based off of that. So we're going to have a very exciting race in store for us. Oninger takes the green flag on his first of 2 laps. I believe we've got a 10-minute session to get these in. Double checking that. Yes, 10 minutes, 2 laps. Can't just go out there and turn laps for 10 minutes, though. That could be interesting, too. We've seen some guys set these sessions up and run an open qualifying session where all the drivers are on track at once, and you can use the draft to increase that time. The problem is some guys like to bump draft, and, well, if you make contact, it invalidates the lap. But alternate ways of doing things, more than one way to skin a cat. Dylan Bryant completes his first lap. He goes P2, 56.091. Oninger was a 56.91 on his first lap. Again, it may come down a bit on lap 2. We'll have to watch Bryant here. He's on his second lap. Some drivers get their best lap the first time around, which is interesting because we talked about how long it takes to really get these trucks up to speed. Bryant crosses the stripe here, lap 2. What do we have? 56.091, ran the identical lap time. Well, that's not going to help the theory. Haven't seen that in my year and a half of broadcasting. That was pretty cool. Drew Blaze on his first lap, 56.675. Blaze out of the Lone Star Racing Stables. I think he's here with a handful of other drivers from that league. Justin Johnson, Mike Fahey. Who else did I see there? I think Drew Prale as well. All with similar looking paint schemes on their trucks. Very sharp looking machines. Got Jimmy Strong on the side of every one of them. Pretty cool of them to show up here and support the cause. Second lap faster, 56.158. So Drew Blaze is going to sit 14th fast. Double out Joe Bennett out there, and well, his familiar 00 Ford F-150. Now, those of you that might just be tuning in because you want to see a race here on HBR TV, why are we having this race? Well, it is the Jimmy Strong Memorial Race, and, well, being a memorial, it means that, well, we've lost Jimmy. Jimmy was the son of, I believe, the owner of Depp Graphics. Depp, a big sponsor of Numb Thumbs Racing. So, of course, without hesitation, the admins over at Numb Thumbs, Derek Welch specifically, wanted to put this together in show of support for the family and try to raise some money. It's not crazy amounts of money, but certainly does help them with the little things that you just don't think about. So really cool of Numb Thumbs and Derek to put this together, and well, it's just really impressive to see how many trucks we've got in this session. Everybody jumping on board to support it. Really cool to see. Second lap for Bennett, 56.791. That's the first lap. Second lap was quicker. 13th quick, 56.130. Mike Fahey in the number 19 out of Ilion, New York. Just a hop, skip, and jump from where I'm sitting right now, honestly. About a couple-hour ride. It's not there now. I think Fahey makes his home in Texas. Can't say that I blame him. Chris Goins in the stream chat. 3 wide by lap 3. I'm saying turn 1. I can be optimistic. Top time so far, Albert Anderson, the third, just above 56 seconds, almost cracked 55 in qualifying. Impressive lap. Justin Lawson, second fast, only 200ths. Oh, not for long. Juan Jimenez goes P2 with a time of 56.02. As was Lawson. Let's see what the math really goes down to. Jimenez, 0.23. Lawson was an 0.29, rounded up to a 3. Paul Ferdani finishes up his lap 56.138. Tim Pope is done. I think we got just about everybody. No, we still got Tim Stubblefield on the speedway here, the number 79. AAA Broadcasting says, I want tech inspection on the 747. Yeah, it's because he's got a 747 engine in the back of that thing. See these guys coming out of the corner. They're not opening up the steering and riding the wall. They're keeping the truck down in that bottom lane. It is the shortest distance around the track. Qualifying, that's what you want to do. Get into the corner as carefully as you can. Don't put too much input to the steering wheel. Don't scrub too much speed from the tires on the racetrack. Just let the truck flow through the corners. Other way around, though, when you're in traffic, race time, that top side, once it comes in, as I say, once it comes in, it means once you got some helpers up top, it can be the quick way around. And truthfully, the way to pass, you've got to have a good enough train on the high side to help you do just that. Stubblefield's first lap, a quick one, 56.065. Puts him 6th fast with 1 more to go. Look at the top times we've got right now. 1st through 10th. Pole speed's 56.01. 10th is 56.07. That is 6/100ths of a second difference from starting in the front to starting in row 5. Second lap, not faster for Stubblefield. He stays in the 6th position for now. I think Mike Adamson may be the last truck to try and top that pole speed of Anderson. Handful of trucks in the session here have not made their attempt as of yet. With 30 seconds remaining, don't think they're going to. I do know for certain there's a handful in here that are strictly here as an admin, so they will show up in the standings, but not likely to start the race. Mike Adamson from Sanford, Florida. And that's the session. Doesn't get to complete that lap. So there you have it. Qualifying complete here from Talladega Super Speedway. Let's take a look at our starting grid for tonight. On the pole position, the number 747 with Limitless and Numb Thumbs Gaming with a time of 56.019 seconds. It's Albert Anderson. His outside with Depp Racing, it's Juan Jimenez in the 22, 4 1,000ths of a second shy of putting that machine on the pole position. Row number 2, Justin Lawson, the number 18 out of Carolina. Chris Klein in the 25 starts 4th. Alan Brown, the 105 with AAA Broadcasting. He starts from the 5th position. Tim Stubblefield, the number 79, APX Motorsports. He'll start 6th. Steve Naylor, the number 5, starts from the 7th position, with Tim Pope rolling off from the 8th spot. 9th starting position, Dave Hoytsma. Someone's already picking him to win tonight. 10th goes to Mike Adamson. Matt Smith rolls from the 11th starting spot. Dylan Bryant will roll off 12th. Jeff Ottinger will roll from the 13th starting position. 14th goes to Brandon Coleman, who is fast in practice. We'll watch him through the draft tonight. Kevin Winker starts 15th. Paul Durkee in the 6th. He'll start 16th. Double out Joe Bennett in the 00. He starts in the 17th position. Paul Ferdiani, EV Racing Coast to Coast, number 33, starts 18th. 19th is Joe Hoggard in the 20. Drew Blaze in the 1 with Lone Star Racing starts 20th. Drew Prale 21st. Mike Fahey 22nd. All 3 Lone Star Racing drivers real tight together. 23rd, Chandler Paul. 24th, Kevin Delia. Gavin Ray 35. He'll start in the 25th position. 26th goes to Mark Collins. 27th, there's the other LSR truck. It's the 10 of Justin Johnson. Seth Hawley starting in the 28th position. Derek Welch, don't think he's running any laps tonight as he is the admin. Dana Shepard, Vincent Short, David Harden, Tom Barish, Richard Gray, Justin Morrow round out this 35 truck field. Again, some of these drivers will stay in the pit lane before anything happens, as they are likely here in admin roles. That's your starting grid here from Talladega Super Speedway. Going to do one pace lap here and be underway under the green flag momentarily. Once again, want to thank the sponsors for tonight's event. Numb Thumbs Racing League for putting it up. JP Designs, 3D Prints, Track Bar Media, Dep Graphics, Admin Box, Sim Central Gear, Davidson Builders, and Track Dogs Racing. Once again, also, there is merch to be purchased if you're so interested. Hats, hoodies, t-shirts, you name it, trackdogsracing.com if you're interested in making a purchase and helping out the family. Got Lucas H. calling it Hoytsma with the win tonight. Calling it now. It's a beautiful sight to see these trucks lined up here at Talladega Super Speedway. 2 by 2, like ducks in a row, ready to take the green flag. Field working off turn 4, pace truck. About to pull down the pit lane, but don't get too excited. We got to get all the way through the tri-oval before we see that green flag. Not like Daytona. Flag is a few hundred yards further down the track. Makes for some exciting finishes. flag waves. Field comes to life, and we're underway from Talladega. Field into turns 3 and 4, trying to get into their preferred positions. Anderson still out front from the pole position. Josh Bittner just mentioning in the stream chat that pole sitter Albert Anderson, I guess there was some money on the line to take the pole. He's actually donating his winnings to the cause. Certainly a stand-up move by Albert Anderson. 3 wide, crossing the stripe at the end of lap 1, all ready for the top spot. 2 trucks up in the top lane trying to make a move, but you're going to need some more help than that. Chris Fahey in the stream chat cheering on the 19, hoping Tristan Sykes doesn't show up. A little inside joke. Justin Lawson a nose out in front down the back straightaway. Albert Anderson still hanging tough on the bottom. It's not a bad place to be if you are in the lead. Again, you're going to need a lot of help topside in that 3rd lane to try and push their way around. It's not working out right now. As you see, they're about 5, 6, 7 rows back to 79, and it looks like the 20 dropping to the bottom there. 20's going to go on by with no help for the 79. Tim Stubblefield dropping like he's throwing the anchor out the back of that truck. Again, no drafting help. Plenty of race to go, though. He's going to tuck back down. Well, the 20 slash, I think it's also a 20 on the door and 18 in the timing and scoring. Sometimes that becomes an issue in a hosted session, but it seems like there's only 1 or 2 that didn't get the memo. Everybody else with the proper number on the door, I thank you for that. Makes my life a whole lot easier. Anderson still doing a decent job to maintain that top position. The outside, though, it is the 20. It's actually the 18 in the timing tower. We were just talking about that a moment ago. There was a familiar paint scheme out back that looks similar, but it is not the same truck. So the 18 on the left of your screen there, the timing tower, is a Justin Lawson. On the truck, it shows a 20, so just don't let that confuse you. If I start calling it the 20 or the 18, it's one of the two. Probably get excited and call it the wrong number. That's okay. Two distinct packs already here at Talladega Super Speedway. The big pack up front with, well, trucks still going 3 wide there in that 3rd and 4th row. And then another smaller pack further back behind. Interestingly enough, this one's headed up by all 4 LSR trucks. This might be part of the strategy. Hang back for a while, take care of the equipment, be around for the end. We get varying opinions on that as far as the strategies are concerned, but so far so good. All 4 LSR trucks working together. You got Justin Johnson, Drew Blaze, Mike Fahey, Drew Prail all together in a row. 3 trucks behind them think, you know what, this isn't a bad plan. Let's hang back with these guys and see what it'll yield. They do have 1 fast repair, though. That's something they don't want to have to use, but it is there if is needed. Ken Blackburn in the stream chat cheering on LSR as well. Thanks for stopping by, Ken. Appreciate that. Bunch of you guys watching. We got 37 viewers so far that I can see. If you guys haven't already done it, do the like, the follow, the share, the subscribe. Tell your friends, tell the neighbors, as long as they like racing. I don't want people that don't really care to chime in. I want something that we can produce and give to the masses that really want to see it. Meanwhile, back out front, Albert Anderson still leading this freight train 2 wide. 3 wide again still through row 3 and 4. Those two are just not giving up on that top lane. Looks like the 8 and the 42. 42 belonging to Kevin Winker. Not sure if the 8 has the proper number on the door or not. Trying to get a figure on who that could be. Got it. Number 8 machine is actually the 17 in timing and scoring. That is Brandon Coleman. Mystery solved. Albert Anderson, we ride on board, still with the lead. At least gave it up for a minute there going into turn 1, but gets to the bottom. Again, short way around. You add the draft factor to that as well, and, well, short way with the draft, you're going to be a lot quicker on the bottom. Again, if you get guys lined up topside, they can really make a run, but right now it's still only 2 trucks. There's 3 further back in this pack on that ultra-high side. Maybe they can draft on up and work together here, but it remains to be seen. 3 more trucks added to those 2 in the front. Maybe a 5-car train might be enough to start pushing their way towards the front. But as it stands right now, it's very impressive, actually. Coleman and Winker are able to hold steady on that outside lane just by themselves. No real drafting help to speak of. Got James Bowden in the chat wishing he was out there. I'm surprised he's not. James runs in our ARCA series in the Numb Thumbs Racing League. Topside, there's a couple of new trucks joining the mix. Certainly going to help that top lane move a little bit further towards the front. It's already starting to come into play. Laps in here from Talladega Super Speedway. 2 distinct packs. Big pack up front. That's probably 2/3 of the field. Smaller pack consisting of looks like 6 trucks, 4 of which are Lone Star Racing entries. They are losing ground to this main pack. I know they were trying to play some strategy here, not to get caught up in the big one. So far, that's working, but they are losing a lot of time, a lot of track position out there. They're out of caution. They're going to have some work to do. Albert Anderson still leads the 20 truck of Justin Lawson. No, your eyes are not playing tricks. We got a car down to the bottom, though. A little too much wheel into it, into corner entry. That is the 51. Again, another mismatch number. I'm not sure who exactly it is. Is it the 751? So Chris Klein is the 51 on the truck, but it is the 25 in the timing tower. So you Chris Klein fans, just keep track of that. If you see the 25 in the session in the timing tower, it's actually the 51 of Chris Klein. Meanwhile, Tim Pope has taken the top spot. Adamson has slipped back to the 4th spot. See if we can get a look here. No, that's not the pass I was looking for. Happens too fast. View of Justin Lawson going around Pope for the top spot. Does he come down and clear? Took it with power on the high side for Diani. I hope I'm saying it right. The 33 machine. He's in the middle there. He's got the lead for now. Pack working through turns 3 and 4. Lawson on the bottom going back to P1. It's going back and forth here. A little bit of a seesaw. Interestingly enough, you look at the lap times these drivers are putting down. 52.01. It is still quick, much faster than qualifying, but they put down faster laps in practice, so there's more in the tank for these guys. Lawson and Ferdani going back and forth for that number 1 position, the 33 outside. That is Paul Ferdani. God, I hope I'm saying it right. That's a tough one. Lawson's super easy. We can do that. 2x2 of the top 4, and then it's 3 wide behind him. Checking on the drivers in that smaller pack back near the rear of the field here. This is now a 7-truck pack. They've gotten all lined up single file, which is really what they're going to have to do to catch those guys out in front. But I just don't see it happening as it stands right now. They're quite a ways back from the leaders. Full 8 seconds here at 190 miles an hour plus. Ferdiani? There you go. Tom says that's how you say it. Ferdiani. I hope I got it right. Sounds like an Italian name. I grew up in an Italian household, but I don't have any practice with that one. Lawson still in command. Albert Anderson slipped back to the 7th position now. Again, started pole, led the first 10, 15 laps or so. With that, we're going to step aside, get a break out of the way. We're going to go HBR TV side by side, so you won't miss a minute of the action. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway. Green flag pit stops underway, and as we speak, we watch Justin Lawson in the 20/18 leaving pit lane. Appears that he may have got a pit road speeding violation. He spent 51 seconds in his pit box, likely a fuel-only stop that turned into a big-time problem. 40-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Typically, that is what you will receive. So, tough break for Lawson. And it appears Chris Klein maybe had the same penalty. Klein was in the pit box for 56.6 seconds, so maybe a good 4-tire stop. All went down the tubes with a 40-second penalty. LSR trucks down pit lane as well. Timing it well. This is how it needs to be done. You've got to come into pit lane with a plan to go out with other drivers that you can draft with. You cannot just do this all by your lonesome. As you come back out, you need a dancing partner, someone to draft with. More top trucks headed down pit lane. Mark Collins in the 23. He sees his crew. Many others as well. Paul Ferdiani, Dylan Bryant, Juan Jimenez, Double Out Joe Bennett. Really surprised to see tires going on these trucks so early on. We've got 22 laps on them. Truthfully, you could probably go the whole race without changing a set of tires here at Talladega Super Speedway. Really, the only advantage it gives you, not so much as far as lap time, but more about maneuverability in the pack. You want to make an aggressive move and get to the bottom of the top very quickly. Fresh tires do help with that, but that's really about it. Juan Jimenez better be careful. Got the right sides on that yellow line. Don't want to get a pit exit violation as far as a blend line is concerned. You see the blue cone. The drivers are required to stay below the yellow line until they pass that blue cone. If not, get the black flag. That's Sean Reese and Lauren Stubblefield chiming in the stream chat again. Stub Nation. Looks like everyone has completed their green flag stops here. Albert Anderson, Timothy Pope, Mike Adamson, last to hit pit lane here. It was at lap 22 where they peeled off the racetrack to the attention of their crews. Looks like fuel only for those top three, about 12.8, 12.3, and 12.5 second stops, respectively. Albert Anderson, wait a minute, Albert Anderson, aren't you in the race? Unless he's somebody's dad. Looks like Anderson is the third. That could be the possibility. But yes, interesting pit strategies, definitely. Again, surprised to see guys take tires. That is very, very interesting. But as you see, Albert Anderson has retaken the top spot, so that interesting strategy has paid off for those top three trucks as they're in the mix here with drafting help behind. We've got two bigger distinct packs now, so that might include some LSR drivers as well. That group, 6 or 7 trucks really in the back, except Drew Blaze is mixed in it here as well, so that's not quite entirely going to plan for some of them, or maybe it is, we just don't know. So Mike Fahey, yes, some of those LSR trucks are still in this back rear pack, so to speak. Trying to play it cool. Oh, we got trouble. The 45 gets turned.
Hey, man, your mic sounds like it's a little far away from your mouth again. Just double
Caution on the speedway, the first of the day. Tim Stubblefield is right there in the mix of it. Don't look like he got any damage. Chandler Paul got a piece of that as well. Well, under our first caution, this lucky to happen after pit stops were completed rather than in the middle of the cycle. You never want that to happen, but 25 laps in, first caution of the day. Let's get a look at it, see what happened. Well, you saw it right there. The 79 in the mix of it as well as the 45. Trying to figure out who the 45 is because, well, same situation. Numbers don't match. I hate doing this. I really do. But unfortunately, it is the nature of the beast. When it comes to hosted sessions, it doesn't always pan out. Back it up a little bit more here. Just ahead to the left of your screen, the 79 to the inside of the 45. Tim Stubblefield, little bit of contact. That might have been net code. They weren't really racing too hard with each other. It's hard to say. Back it up here, look from the roof cam of the 79 to Stubblefield. Go nice and slow here. Yeah. Stubblefield does come up a slight amount, and it's just enough as the 45 of Shepard is right there. Now the onboard from the 45 of Shepard. Looking at the 79 to Stubblefield. Well, it looks like both trucks just kind of come... One comes down, one comes up. They meet in the middle. Looks like a racing deal, unfortunately, for really everybody involved. And the 72 just comes piling in here. Nothing he can really do. Tries to get to the bottom, just not enough left turn into it. Hard to do. Again, you're getting down to the flat. Not as much banking. Hardly at all really down there. Then catch the grass. It takes a hard right up the track. The 45 of Shepard, just kind of a punching bag in that one. Gets it again. Well, there you have it. That's our first caution of the day involving, well, essentially 4 trucks. Some more than others. Shepard's still in the pit lane. Again, these drivers do have fast repairs that they can utilize. I don't know. Yes, he did. He's down and away. That truck, did he use it? No, he's still got some left front damage. It's a good-looking truck, though. I haven't really seen anybody paint these trucks with the numbers slung forward, much like the next-gen Cup car, but they actually looks pretty decent on that Depth Graphics Silverado. Yeah, opting not to use the fast repair, it seems. Again, lots of racing left. They've only got one to spare. So Shepard maybe keeping that one in his hand. Things are certainly going to get worse as this race gets closer to the end. We are restrictor plate racing these super speedways. When the benefit goes up, so does the aggression level. So I'm going to butcher this one, but Daniel Pochlag, hopefully I said that right, says, thanks, man. I'm assuming maybe you painted that car. That would be my guess why you're saying thank you. But yes, it is definitely a sharp-looking truck. Either way, regardless of who painted it. So pace car, pace truck lights are off, it appears. So we're going to go back to the green flag the next time by. Which could be a while, because a lap around Talladega, it's about 2.5 minutes under caution. So if you need to refill the drink, grab a snack, I'd say you've got about 1.5 minutes to knock that out. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway, the Numb Thumbs Racing League Jimmy Strong Memorial Race. Going to be lap 28 when we go back to the green flag. Just wrapping up our first caution of the afternoon. Been a pretty clean race. Really good to see. Okay, pace truck peels off, hits the pit lane, and we have a ways to go before we cross the stripe.
Green flag.
Green flag waves, we're underway. Tim Pope drops right to the inside. Didn't want to waste any time on that. Front two out to a pretty good advantage already. Kevin Winker and Mike Adamson there in the third and fourth positions, though, drafting up nicely. Little tandem almost. Pope looks to the inside, nothing doing there. Anderson in command down the back straightaway. Albert Anderson to the inside still. He's got company coming in the form of the 42, Kevin Winker. He's the lead truck on that outside lane, still 2x2. Got a straggler about mid-pack, trying to go 3 wide, but no help for that one. .29 laps in of 70 here at Talladega Super Speedway. Adam Turner in the stream chat. Good to see all these viewers. Albert, let's get it. Oh, wait, Brown is out there. There's a story. I don't know that one. We need some more details there, Turner. It is very cool. This is a well-attended race, not only in the actual stream, but in the race as well. Certainly appreciate all you guys being here. John Buckley, keep moving up, Gavin. Eddie Rose. For all the people watching out there, what did the older drivers used to say about Talladega? Eddie is a longtime HBR TV fan and a driver with HBR. Always chimes in for a little bit of trivia, so maybe somebody can know the answer to that one. The blimp had one job. It failed. We got more than one blimp, though. Big time race calls for multiple blimps. We got it. Anderson still out in front. Winker trying to find a way around, but not enough help. The trucks need to get really tucked in tight between each other. Almost a tandem. You don't want to push in the corners. You can kind of get away with it maybe for a lap here in the trucks if you got somebody you really trust in front and behind. But if you got some space between yourself and the truck behind you, it's not really going to work out. Look at Anderson and then the 728 of Timothy Pope. Those guys are nose to bumper. You can't fit a piece of paper between the two of them. That's why Anderson is able to stay really good out in the front of this field without any challengers. Because you look at the 42 and the 03, there's about 2-3 foot between each truck, and the same from the 03 to the 00. You got to get tight. The other part you got to be careful of, though, if you're the 00, Joe Bennett, is you don't want to push that 03 too aggressively, because from where he sits behind him, in fact, we'll go on board and look with double out Joe Bennett. Where he sits, looking from this perspective, you'd think he's right there on his back bumper, especially if you're unfamiliar. But he's got more room to go. But more importantly, look at the truck in front of Bryant, the blue truck. See it? Oh, there it is. That's the only time Joe Bennett can see him, really, unless he gets a small glimpse through the windshield and the back window of the truck in front of him. He does not want to push that second truck. You know, the old phrase, don't push the pusher. Okay, that can really upset the balance of the truck in the middle, basically the meat and the sandwich, and cause a big mess at the front of the field. You do not want to see that. A little bit of drafting advice here. 32 laps in here at Talladega. For the most part, everyone minding their P's and Q's out there. I know it's dangerous to say that here at a place like Talladega, but everybody doing a good job, still side by side, 2 by 2. It's a 195 mile an hour pace lap, it looks here, as we come to lap 34. Anderson still out in front. Winker second. Pope and Bryant and Adamson, the top 5, and that's already changed. That's how quickly these positions switch up here at Talladega Superspeedway. It's almost not worth mentioning, because by the time I'm done, I'm wrong. Let's give a shout out here to Kevin Winker, though. Again, he's running in the outside lead truck in that outside lane. Spotlight him for a moment here. He started 15th today. He's up in that second position. Doing a good job, passing some trucks. I'm sure he'd love to get out there and take this top spot away, but right now it's early. We're just shy of the halfway point. Another call to drivers out there. The 20 of Zeth Hawley. It's not actually the 20, it's the 48. Thought these guys had it all figured out, but I guess there's more than I realized. But the 48 is Zeth Hawley. He's up 21 positions, well, by a foot right now, over the 13 to his inside, but roughly 20 spots. Started back in the 28th spot, currently running in the 8th position. Having a good day so far. Hopefully he can keep it that way. Kevin Delia, he's up 15 positions as well. Kevin in the number 7 Dairy Queen entry, just behind there on the inside. Some big-time movers so far. Lap 35 just about complete. We are halfway here from Talladega Super Speedway. 35 down, 35 to go. Ken Blackburn in the chat. I believe this is an answer to Eddie Rose's question. It says, when the cameras and microphones are all gone, plenty of drivers will tell you that whatever they do at Talladega, it isn't racing and it isn't fun. There are a lot of drivers that would definitely agree with that sentiment, but there's a handful that do enjoy it. Mainly just the couple that I've spoken to on a personal level. They do accept the danger involved in it, as that is their job, but nonetheless, I can definitely see the point. It's racing. I mean, you're out here trying to take the top spot. I don't know if Eddie Rose was looking for that one. Not that it's wrong. Albert Anderson drafting. Teamwork makes the dream work. And again, I think that's Albert Anderson's dad, I believe. Unless Albert is just that good that he can text and lead this race all at the same time. Truck up on the high side. I think that might have been 25/51. It was. That was Chris Klein. Chris not on the lead lap after a pit road penalty, it appears. Again, he also got one, as well as, I think that was Lawson. Lawson is 1 lap down. Klein's 2 laps down, though. Looks like he just went down his 2nd lap. That's why he was free falling through the field the way that he was. Lawson, on the other hand, we get another caution. He's going to get that lucky dog as long as he can get by Smith and Hardin. Right now, Hardin is in the lucky dog position. David Hardin, the number 34 machine, Apex Sim Racing entry. .45 slow at the top of the track as well. Dana Shepard likely going down another lap. Leaders approaching some slower lap traffic. Very difficult for them to negotiate by, even though this is a pretty wide racetrack. James Bowden is Steve, top-notch broadcasting, just like driving. Well, now someone's brown-nosing. I do appreciate it, James. We try to do it right. We're not the best, I don't think, but I don't think I'll ever think that, so we'll see what happens. And same with my driving. I enjoy it. But I don't win a whole lot unless we're on a road course, and that's if Zach Millett doesn't show up, and then I'm really in trouble. Joe Bennett, Dagger, baby. Joe, aren't you in this race? What is going on with you guys? I don't know how they do it. I can't even speak into my microphone while I'm behind the wheel. And that's under caution. Anderson putting on a clinic out here. Again, I hear so many people talk about how, oh, it doesn't take any skill to run these super speedway races, but it seems that the same drivers tend to win them, whether that's in the sim or even in real life. You've got the same set of drivers. You look at Dale Earnhardt. Yes, they had pretty decent equipment, but they weren't always the best equipment. You had a guy at the wheel that knew how to get through the pack. Remember Earnhardt's last win. We're going back 20-plus years, but he went from, I think, 18th to 1st with just a few laps to go. There's talent there. You have to know what you're doing. You take a guy that's green, yeah, he can hold the wheel in qualifying and get around this place and be within a couple of hundredths of the pole speed, but it makes a difference to know how to get through the draft, how to work the draft to your advantage, find where the runs are going to be the best, time your moves and your passes. Definitely skill involved at places like this. We're seeing it right now with Anderson out in front. Well, he was out in front. Looks like Winker's got a nose, and he's going to come down in front of the 747. Take the top spot. He's got Anderson clear. Move the 42. Kevin Winker to P1 on the bottom. Now that outside row, Dylan Bryant, he's your new leader in that second lane. With double-out Joe Bennett giving him a big-time push. We talked about that. There's that push that we really saw early on not happening. Now it's there. We got all kinds of action in the high side. Now we're going to go 3 wide into 3. Are they going to think better of it? Nope, no room to squeeze down. Oh, maybe he does. That run fell apart quickly as the 7 goes topside, but he's got a pusher now. He's dedicated. He's got that third row. He's going to have to do something with it. See the 48, Zeth Hawley, he's trying to make a move as well. Eddie Rose giving the answer. It was a myth that they all talked about, thought it was haunted and built on a burial ground. I have heard that story. I think it was the Dale Jr. download. They talked about it. Oh, we got close quarters battle here at the Speedway. The 7 and the 48 come together. Everybody continues on. No spinning, no caution. We continue under green. 42 laps in. Down the back straightaway. Everybody trying to get figured out here and reorganized. Try and put a chase back down to the leader. But meanwhile, the 03 of Bryant, he's taken the top spot. Now Anderson back to third. We talked about this. It was interesting here at the end of that first run. Same thing kind of happened. Anderson was just happy leading the race, and then all of a sudden that outside lane started to gang up and made some moves. Now he's lost a couple of spots, and if they do it right, that outside lane can continue to do that, provided they've got the strength and numbers to do it, and just keep shuffling a new truck to the lead spot. He'll drop down in front, he'll take the lead to the inside, and then it's the next guy's turn. In this case, it's double-out Joe Bennett. If he can get some help, he might be able to draft on up and take the lead himself, lead some laps here at Talladega as we've got 43 in with Bryant, Pied Piper, so to speak. All right, Albert Anderson. It's Albert's dad. I thought I saw that earlier. Now I feel better. Well, Albert's dad, thanks for checking in, man. I'm glad you're here watching. Really do appreciate it. James Bowden making a valid point. Almost time for fuel. We won't go to break this time. I didn't know when the when the fuel was going to be necessary the first round, so we missed a lot of those first stops. But again, it was lap 22 that Anderson and 2 other trucks opted to pit. They were the last to come down and get their service. Other drivers started down, I think it was lap 18, 19 or so, and it went all the way through 4 more laps. It got the rest of the field done. Then the caution came out. Might go a little bit longer because we had the yellow, but nonetheless, it's getting close. Oh, trouble! Up front! Multiple trucks involved. Caution on the speedways. They wreck into turn number 3. Oh, this is not the big one, but it's close. Kevin Winker, Mike Adamson, Dylan Bryant involved. I think Bryant was leading at the time. Well, no green flag stops this time. We're going to get this done under the yellow flag. Let's take a look here, see what happened. We'll start with Dylan Bryant. Was he leading? Yeah, this was a battle for the lead. Oh, looks like the 64 got into the 7, just shuffled him down the track into the middle lane, and it was just a domino effect for the rest of these guys. Top 3 trucks all involved in that one right off the bat, headed into turn 3. Watch it from Bryant's in-car. Just had no idea it was coming. Well, that's going to give the 7 the lead. Again, the 7 was essentially the catalyst in that one. I know the 64. Let's go back and look closer here and see exactly how that one went down. Ended a little bit late. So we're going to stop it. We're going to go with Joe Hoggard here. Again, he's the 64/20. We'll go to his roof cam and we'll get a look. I think it was just an off-centered push that initially caused this. Again, we are riding on board with Joe Hoggard, the 20 machine / the 64. Down the backstretch. Right now would be a good time to push him, but now he slides up the track a little bit. Now he's off center. He's in the right rear, and that's going to really upset the balance of the truck that he's going to push. gets into the 7, again, shuffles him down the racetrack, and the melee is on from there. So pit stops just wrapping up here under caution. Their second stop of the day. We do have 25 laps to go. Alan Brown is going to be your new leader, the 105 machine. And it looks like the 20th Lawson is going to get his lap back here, I believe. We're going to step aside, get another break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway, the Numb Thumbs Racing League Jimmy Strong Memorial Race. 25 laps to go, working our second caution. It's been pretty clean, but mistakes happen, and we just saw it unfold here before we went to the break. Things are going to get interesting here, and interestingly more so, they can't make it to the end on fuel the way they run right now, so there could still be one more green flag stop to contend with, as long as we make it there. I want to thank again the sponsors jumping in here and helping support the Jimmy Strong Memorial Race. Of course, Numb Thumbs Racing League putting it on. JP Designs and 3D Prints, Track Bar Media, Depth Graphics, Admin Box, Sim Central Gear, Davidson Builders, and Track Dogs Racing. Again, if you're looking for some merchandise for the race, Jimmy Strong merchandise, you got hats, you got t-shirts, you got two-sided hoodies. Go check out trackdogsracing.com. So now we've got 24 laps to go. I don't believe we are on the one to go just yet. Let's take a look. We are on the one to go. Formed up 2 by 2. So green flag comes out with 23 laps to go. I am pretty sure that they're going to be short for fuel. I know some guys, remember we saw they kind of short pit this. I say short pit the stage. There's no stages, but they kind of short pit trying to get down pit lane a little bit earlier to get that pit work out of the way. So that was the lap, I think, 18 or 19 initially, and then the leaders, the top 3 at least, went 3 more laps, or I'm sorry, went to 22 laps total. So we're going to go back to green at 23. It's hard to fuel save at a place like this, especially if you're out front. Obviously, if you're in the draft, you can lift quite a bit and use a lot less fuel, but this might be a challenge, really, to see who can not lead the race for a little while. John Buckley says, where can we send donations? I'll be honest, John, I don't have a link or even a GoFundMe or anything to that effect. I know if you check out Numb Thumbs Gaming on Facebook, you should be able to get in touch with Derek Welch on that. He can definitely send you in the right direction. He's kind of been the point man on this whole thing. So, John, yeah, if you want to touch base with Derek Welch, Numb Thumbs Gaming, he can certainly put you in the right direction. If you strike out and you can't get anywhere, message me at HBRTV. Facebook.com/HBRTV1. You can find us there and give me a direct message, and we'll put you in touch. We'll get it figured out. So double out Joe Bennett going to restart this one as the point man. 33 of Paul Ferdiani. He's going to be to the outside. And then it's Mark Collins, Brandon Coleman, Gavin Ray. Green flag waves. A lot of single file trucks down low. I don't know if those are guys that were all involved or took EOLs or what the case is, but nonetheless, we're back underway. 23 laps to go. Joe Bennett out in front. 33, Paul Ferdiani. He's trying to make some moves to the outside, but Joe Bennett goes topside. Going to try pulling him along. That's an interesting move. This could be fuel related. We just talked about it. This might be a race to not run first for the rest of this run. Not working out really well for Joe Bennett right here, as he is the lead car in that outside lane. Might have been trying to pick up some helpers, some friends, maybe some teammates, who knows. But I thought for sure he was just trying to let the guy behind him around so he could suck up and take a draft himself. Racetrack's always putting grandstands in the way. I'll come out of here in a minute. There we go. So Daniel Pochschlag, again, I'm probably butchering the daylights out of it, but he says, I love what's on Joe's hood. It looks like it is the J Fund. I'm not familiar, but Daniel, feel free to enlighten us, so get the word out. He's got the sponsor on that thing, so might as well talk about it. Close racing here for the second spot with Joe Bennett in the 35 of Gavin Ray. Paul Ferdiani tucked in tight to the back of the 00 truck, but there is a line forming on the outside. 48 is Zeth Hawley's trying to lead it up, and you've got some other trucks that played it real safe early on in this race that are starting to come into the mix. So those LSR trucks, keep an eye out on them. Had a plan coming into it. Plans are always dangerous. Everybody's got one till you get punched in the face, and Talladega has been known to do that to many, many drivers. All four LSR trucks still right in a row. I'll tell you, if they get near the front, that's going to be dangerous because you know they're all working together. Interesting, we've got guys on pit road already. They're just trying to say, you know what, if this is going to go green to the end, let's get it out of the way now. Again, some familiar looking paint schemes here as well. Clearly some team decisions making going on right now. Looks like Brandon Coleman, Justin Lawson, Steve Naylor, Kevin Winker, Paul Durkee. All taking an opportunity here to get some pit service. There's some damage being repaired on the 8, just minor. 42 is down and away as well. Yeah, that's a fuel-only stop. These guys are gambling. They're hoping that this thing goes all the way to the finish under the green flag. And it's actually kind of smart for them to do this because putting the fuel in the truck the way they just have, it puts more weight in the back of the truck. What does that mean? Why is that a big deal? Well, again, to the novice out there, weight in the back, just like if you sit on the tailgate of your truck, the truck comes down just an inch or two. An inch or two of travel in the rear of these race trucks means that big spoiler on the back rear deck comes out of the air. Why is that important? Well, that's less drag. Why is less drag more important? It means it makes the truck go faster. So not a bad plan for these guys to come down pit lane, get their fuel now because they think they're not going to make it anyway. Make those things a little bit quicker in the wind. We'll see if anybody else opts for that strategy. As it sits right now, Joe Bennett not doing that. He's off turn 2 down the backstretch, the inside with the lead for now. Paul Ferdiani, a nose out in front, though. He's going to try and challenge. I don't know if he's got it to clear. He does. Ferdiani goes P1 down the backstretch into turn number 3, but there's still a run to the inside, and here come the LSR trucks, all 4 of them there in the middle. 110 of Richard Gray in the mix as well. He's going to be one to contend with. Coming to 18 laps to go. The 33 in command, but for how long? Double out Joe Bennett tucks back in behind. Nose to the tailgate of the 33, trying to save some fuel. Last lap by 53.06. They've run as fast as 51.76 today. Overall, this pack, I think all of them are trying to save a little bit of fuel to make it to this finish. It's all going to be for naught, though. If we get a green-white checker, I don't think anybody's going to be able to save enough to make that. And with that, if we do have a green-white checker, we can do that up to 3 times before we call this one official. We want this thing to end under green flag conditions, so fuel could be a major, major story here as this race progresses on. But meanwhile, Justin Johnson puts a nose out in front, topside. LSR trucks plus a helper, Zeth Hawley in behind those 4. They are working together. A freight train on the high side. Johnson out in front, up top. Behind him, it's Mike Fahey, Drew Blaze, and Drew Prale. Little bit better numbers on the bottom, but they are not organized, and the ones in the middle just, well, they're the fly in the ointment. Gray trying to get down, but no room to do it. Didn't want to be too aggressive here with 17 to go. 03 of Bryant in the mix as well. Dillon's made his way back after that wreck and fast repair being used. He's up in the 7th position, still in the middle. So LSR trucks, though, dedicated to that top lane. Ferdiani doing a good job to keep that top spot. Joe Bennett took a quick peek to the inside. Don't know if it was inadvertent or not, but nonetheless, still rides in the tire tracks of the 33. Coming to the line, it's going to be 15 laps to go. Don't know if the 33 is going to be able to hold Bennett off that entire time. He does seem pretty content riding behind the 33, but at least for now, again, that could be all fuel related. Last lap for the leaders, 52.19, 52.20, 52.19. Pace is picking up at the front of the field. That's the racer in all of these drivers. But will it be enough? Will that be enough to get them all the way to the finish? Did they save enough to make it to the end? We're going to have to wait and see. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go side by side for the last time. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway. If I'm a betting man, I think these drivers are starting to consider pit lane. You see that inside lane has gone very single file. Everyone trying to be prepared for a stop down to the pits for a splash of fuel to get this thing finished off. Maybe they've realized they cannot save enough to make it to the end. We do have 11 laps to go. All 4 LSR trucks, they're mid-pack, still lined up together. They may be doing the same thing, trying to pit together, but the top spots for Ferdiani, Bennett, Hawley, Gray, and Collins, also, for the most part, lined up single file. The outside lane, though, they're hedging their bets. They're gambling a bit. Lap truck just up ahead. We'll see how the leaders negotiate their way around them. The 45, he does go by, takes the top lane. And here we go. Pit stop's underway. Everybody deciding to do it or not. Maybe just a handful. There's 5 trucks down pit lane, the leaders being the majority. Ferdiani, the first one to peel off. Zeth Hawley as well. Joe Bennett, Dylan Bryant, Mark Collins. Hope everybody got down to pit road speed without getting popped by the police. Ferdiani is down and away. 5.82 second stop. Joe Bennett is rolling. Dylan Bryant as well. Mark Collins, Zeth Hawley in and out together. No pit speeding penalties for the top 5. They're not going to be top 5 for long. In fact, that's already sailed. Richard Gray, Kevin Delia, Gavin Ray, Justin Johnson, Mike Fahey, now the current top 5. They work off turn 4. We'll see if they take the opportunity to hit pit lane. They will. Richard Gray all by himself. Oh, this is not good. No teammates for Richard Gray. He is in trouble. This one is going south in a hurry. He needs a caution literally right now. That's the only thing that's going to save his day. Will not have a drafting partner when he gets back out there. Will definitely be down a lap. Tough break. It's going to give Kevin Delia the top spot, though, as we have 9 laps to go. Did anybody save enough fuel to make this thing clean all the way to the finish? We're going to find out soon enough. Still, multiple trucks still on the track that have yet to come down pit lane to top off that final time. A lot of trucks still in that bottom lane single file. It seems like they're just trying to be prepared. Maybe trying to stretch this all the way to the very last drop. If that truck coughs just so slightly, could be big problems. If the guy behind you doesn't recognize it, could run you right over. But they could just be out here betting on a caution, banking for that to happen, hoping that it happens. That way they can get their pit service under the yellow flag, not have to worry about it. Somebody mentioned it earlier on in the chat. I think it was James Bowden. Might have been somebody else, but so many different strange pit strategies, but we're seeing a lot of different ones here. Some guys taking the opportunity to pit as soon as the green flag came out. Some guys waiting midway through the run. Now we've got 8 coming to 7 laps to go. Richard Gray, you see him all by his lonesome. He's going to get freight trained when these guys get to him if they stay in a pack like this. Seven to go for Kevin Delia. John Buckley says, crossing the checker on fumes. Yeah, it very well could be the case. On fumes or in a cloud of smoke, one or the other. Maybe both. That's my concern, is if the lead truck is coming to the line, runs out of gas, everybody's in trouble. It's going to be a matter of who can dodge the wreck before they get to the stripe. Off turn number 4, one more time, coming to 6 laps to go. Everybody stays on the track still. No takers for pit lane. 34, Kevin Delia is the 7 in the timing tower to the left. Actually, the 34 is a lap truck, it appears. James Bowden's telling me I'm saying his name wrong. I don't know which one was which one I said. Was it Bowden or Bowden? I don't know. Better information, though. The 7, the Dairy Queen machine, that is the one that is actually in the lead. Oh, and the caution comes out. We've got trouble on the speedway. Is it Mike Fahey? Tristan Sykes must have shown up. Where is Mike Fahey? Slow on the racetrack with 5 laps to go. The yellow comes out. This is just what the doctor ordered for these trucks that were short on fuel, that weren't going to make it. It looks like this incident involved multiple trucks, possibly team trucks. Let's see what happened. Oh, ill-timed bump. All 4 of those LSR trucks getting involved in that. Let's take a look at it again here. One truck checking up. It looks like Drew Prahl. Mike Fahey not catching on quick enough. Slides up the track and, oh, big time netcode. Spins the 10 of Justin Johnson. Oh, he's got hard impact. Again, these guys played it safe early on, though. They're not out of this. They can certainly use that fast repair. Yeah, it looks like the 8 of Drew Prahl checked up just a bit. Fahey checked up a little bit as well, and maybe the 10 got to the tailgate of the 19, and then that wreck was on. Could have been a whole lot worse. It looks like only 2 trucks essentially getting involved, but yeah, Justin Johnson, he's got a big piece of the inside safer barrier. So I guess here's the question. Are these guys going to stay out? Does this caution help them enough that they don't need to pit? That could be the case. Again, they were only a lap shy, I think, to make it all the way to the end. They might be okay here if we get back to green, and it might be 2 laps to go when we go back to the green flag. However, if this ends up going a little bit long and it turns into a green-white checkered finish, these guys might be in trouble. Kevin Delia, the number 7 machine, still out in front. We do have 3 laps to go. Pace car lights are still on. So we would need the 1 to go. If that's next time by, that's 2 laps left. That means we get the green and the white at the same time. Oh boy. Forgive me for being quiet here. I'm just trying to figure out the strategies that these guys are playing, or really what the case is going to be. If the system is going to give us a green-white checkered anyway, again, if that's the case, drivers that did not pit could be in trouble. Unless this is the group that pit right after the restart, that could be as well. Looks like the top 6 trucks pit at lap 46. So that's not going to get them home. I mean, they were about 10 laps shy when it Yeah, I don't know. See, Kevin Winker and Paul Durkee, they pit lap 50. That would be 25 laps on a tank of fuel, but again, we have this caution here. I don't know if they've got enough to stretch it. But as it sits, I just don't see how these guys that pit lap 46, lap 45 in that range, how they're going to be able to make it to the end. From 10th place to 13th, you got, let's see, Tim Pope, Albert Anderson, Dave Hoitzman, Mike Adamson. They pit lap 67, so they can certainly make it. Richard Gray, Joe Hoggard, Justin Johnson, Mike Fahey, Steve Naylor, they just pit on this caution that they were involved in. So, of course, they're going to be at the rear of the field, but they're set on fuel as well. And looking at some of these pit times, some of these drivers did take tires. So we talked about that early on in the race, how tires aren't that important unless you're trying to be aggressive with your moves. And with that said, they have put 3 laps on the board. So we are going to be on our first green-white checkered finish, I believe. Pace car lights are off. Yeah, I hear Kevin Delia. He's saving fuel. Look at that gas. Look at the tachometer. Watch the RPMs. Pushes the clutch in, and that thing's just sitting there at idle. Now, some guys may take it a step further. They'll actually shut the truck completely off. Let the RPMs drop to 0. Let the truck coast. Kick the ignition switch back on and just wait, and then let the clutch back out. The truck usually fires right back up. Sometimes you might need third gear, but typically not an issue. Pace truck about ready to pull off. First green-white checkered attempt. Let's see who's got enough Tiger in the tank to make it back to the checkered flag. This could be interesting, too, on the restart. These guys, that thing coughs trying to come up to speed, and everybody's full bore behind them. Head on a swivel as we get ready to go back to the green flag.
Green flag.
Barney, the flagman, waves it green. We're back underway. Trying to settle it here from Talladega Super Speedway. Delia goes to the top side immediately. 2 laps to go. 7 of Delia up top. As the leader, the 35 of Ray in the second spot down low. Ray now noses out in front. Not enough help on the high side. The draft coming down to the bottom. The 35 crosses over, and here comes Drew Blaze and Drew Prail. It's the Drew and Drew show on the inside, and we got trouble. We're wrecking down the backstretch. Multiple trucks involved into turn number 3. We've got a big one here. Drew Blaze is involved in it. Drew Prail gets away. This truck's still spinning through the grass. Gonna re-rack them once again, but now this becomes an opportunity for these guys that weren't going to make it. I think they have to pit now. Well, let's take a look at it, see what we can see here. Where did this start? Ferdiani getting turned down the infield here. Let's back it up. Looks like it was off the nose of Pope. Got into Durkee. Okay. So at least we know where to watch. So the 13 truck is essentially the one that got turned down into the 33. This looks like an accordion here. I think the 42 goes up trying to make a move. He catches a late block. He's got to check up. 13 drops down as he's getting bumped. So it changed the angle for Pope to get to the back of the 13, and then the melee is on. The 79 gets turned in front of the field. The 33 gets spun down. Justin Johnson's going to get a piece of this. Mike Fahey's going to drive into it. Oh boy. Now the question becomes, who has fast repairs remaining? I know we only had one to start with. As it sits now, Winker, the 42, he is going to be the leader, and Durkee is going to be the second place machine. Again, he was involved in that incident, still has not come to pit lane. Well, as it stands right now, Timothy Pope runs in the 14th spot. He's the last truck on the lead lap. Let's go through our lead lap trucks. Kevin Winker, Paul Durkee, Mike Adamson, Mark Collins, Stephen Naylor. That's the top 5. Then it's Matt Smith, Kevin Delia, Drew Prell, Juan Jimenez, Drew Blaze, the top 10. 11th is Joe Hoggard, Richard Gray, Gavin Ray, Timothy Pope. Last truck on the lead lap, Paul Ferdiani. Fortunately, after that incident, looks like he's going to be a lap down. Well, it looks like some things cycled back through, because now it looks like we've got 18 trucks on the lead lap, so Ferdiani might be in better position than we had thought. So at least back to Hoytsma in the 18th spot, maybe even Mike Fahey, though Fahey is in pit lane. Yeah, badly damaged truck. He's probably not on the lead lap. I don't think he's got a fast repair left because he was involved in that incident with Justin Johnson early on where they all stacked up. Well, before we're out of here, again, let's talk sponsorships. Again, big-time people coming in here and helping this thing get done. Numb's Racing League, of course, JP Designs and 3D Prints, Track Bar Media, Depth Graphics, Admin Box, Sim Central Gear, Davidson Builders, and Track Dogs Racing. Really do appreciate all of these companies coming together to help make this happen, support this great cause. And you can still help, too, if you want. If you want to get some merchandise, some Jimmy Strong hats, T-shirts or hoodies, check out trackdogsracing.com. Does appear we are on the 1-to-go lap. We're going to try it again. This is going to be our second attempt at a green-white checkered finish here from Talladega Super Speedway, the Jimmy Strong Memorial Race. Kevin Winker will restart it as the leader. Paul Durkee is going to restart second, but there's some damage on that truck, and he's not in a great position there. Again, yes, he's second. That's great for him, but what's damaged the nose of that machine, that's not a great place to be. That thing is going to not cut through the wind like a cleaner, more, well, undamaged machine. So he may drop to the back, may even hold up that second lane. So this really works out best for the 42 right here. '23 Mark Collins there. He's the second truck in that outside lane. Be curious to see what he can do with Durkee as we come to green. He's got some trucks behind him that can certainly do a lot of pushing. He's got to get organized to get that done. Not a whole lot of time to do it. Pace truck pulls off.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag waves. We are back underway. Durkee out to a big advantage. That's really going to bottleneck guys as they catch him. He takes the high lane, though. I guess he knows he's got damage. He doesn't want to ruin anybody's race here. 23 of Collins takes the spot, but he's got no help. Two laps to go. Field working off turn number 2. Durkee following all the way to the back of the pack. Fell on the sword himself there, just trying to get out of everybody's way. Gentlemanly move, that's for sure. Battle happening here at the front of the field. Oh, and we got a car spinning down the back straightaway. More trouble into turn number 3. Do we get another caution? So far, we stay green. Off turn number 4, all they got to do is meet the white flag. Winker with the top spot. Outside lane starting to get organized. There's 4 trucks in each lane, now 5 on the high side. More coming. Oh, and somebody gets turned. I think it's Mark Collins. Nope, wasn't Mark Collins. Didn't catch who it was, but still we stay green. Off turn number 2 for the final time. Winker with a nose out in front, but no, it's not. Now it's the 5 of Steve Naylor trying to make a move to the high side. He gets shuffled to the middle of the pack. 3 wide for the lead into turn number 3. Winker goes back to the point with help from the 7 of Delia, and we got trouble behind as well. Big impact behind the leaders. It's going to be a race between these top 3. We'll see who can do it off turn number 4. Winker with the lead. Delia second, Jimenez is third. Can anybody make a move? They pull out to pass. The 7 looking for the lead and possibly a win. Does he have enough? The run is coming to the line. And they spin, and it's going to be Juan Jimenez taking the checkered flag at the finish line. The leader gets turned, and Jimenez picks up the scraps. Juan Jimenez out of Santo Domingo takes the checkered flag. What a win. And quickly leaves the session. No burnouts or nothing. Guess we've had enough action from that one. That was a great, great finish. Very cool to see. Steve Naylor credited with the 2nd spot. He's out of the session. Mark Collins gets 3rd. Biggest mover of the day. Looks like to be that was Richard Gray. Was 26 spots further up the field from where he started. Finished P7. With that, we're going to step aside, try to get our top 3 up into the booth. I hope these guys didn't just check out, but nonetheless, a great finish here from Talladega Superspeedway. Stay with us. We'll be back.
and the whole DEP racing team, we were just trying to work together at the end. So it was just the three of us for the win. I was going to try to get the win for DEP, so it was just about pushing him. So it looks like he just got a little loose, and Netcode finished the two of them off. So it's unfortunate that for 10 like that, but that's our super speed we're racing with. So just happy to get the win for DEP in a race I'm sure means a lot to him.
Well, either way, it was a good race. It was a great finish. I'll be honest, we didn't see a whole lot of you throughout the race. Typically, you're one we see towards the front on a regular basis, but tell us about your race. What was the strategy coming in? I know we had some fuel stops and some fuel concerns there at the end. Of course, the caution bailed us out, but tell me about your race and what your strategy was coming into tonight.
Oh, in super speedways, I'm always just trying to keep a good look at the fuel gauge. So when the caution came out with 25 to go, I knew fuel could be a concern. So then Kevin and I got in front, and we had the fuel to stretch it out to the end if it went green to the finish. So we were just we put ourselves in the right spot, and caution came out, a few cautions, and all the chaos happened. We were able to get back up to the front and get the win, which I'm super happy about.
Well, again, congratulations on the victory. This is a special one, I'm sure. You got Jimmy Strong on the truck. Before we let you go, any words that you want to part with? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, the thing that all of DUP we agreed to before the race is that anything we got from this race was going to go straight back to Jimmy, because obviously the money is not the important thing. We needed to have this race, which meant a lot to which means a lot to him and his family. And we just wanted to support him all the way. So that prize pool is going to go right back for the memorial fund to support DEP. That's the first thing. And I just want to say, as always, thank you to NTR Racing, and thank you first and foremost to DEP. I hope you had fun watching us, and I hope this race and this win means a lot to you. And just happy to work with you, man. It's been awesome these past few months, and I hope it keeps happening.
All right, Juan. Well, that's a very nice gesture on your part. Stand-up move. Congratulations again on the victory. Thanks for chatting with us, man, and we'll see you at the next one.
All right, man. Steve, thank you for the broadcast.
Yes, sir. It was Juan Jimenez, your race winner here in the 22 Toyota Tundra. A last lap, really a last 100 feet pass. Looked like he was going to push the 7 to victory, and it just didn't work out that way. But we heard his side of it, and that's the way it goes. It's Talladega, it's super speedway racing, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Next up, we're going to go to Steve Naylor. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. I think I got the right name here. Steve. It's also Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yes, sir, I do.
Well, Steve, congratulations on a second place finish. Looked like you were in contention for a win there for a moment, but not meant to be. Didn't come to fruition, but either way, a second place finish. Nothing to sneeze at. Walk us through your race, strategies coming into the night, and your thoughts coming off turn 4 on that final lap.
Well, we had a good strategy going in. Try to pit a little early, you know, we should have enough fuel there at the end, and one of our teammates got lapped down, so we short pitted early, real early, and we were golden, and then a caution come out and it stacked the field back up, and then here we are. I was 17th when that last caution come out, and I restarted 5th, and it was just hold on, because I knew it was going to be crazy there at the end.
Certainly was crazy at the end. You held the wheel straight. You got it back there in the second spot. Good looking truck too. I see you head out again to your teammates. Very similar paint schemes. Tell us about the colors and the sponsors on that machine.
Paul Durkee, he paints all of our trucks for us, and that's a local brewery company here in North Carolina. He just finds them. He paints all the trucks the same, changes the colors up a little bit, and he'll have us a new one about every week.
Well, it's a good-looking paint scheme either way. You brought it home P2, so congratulations. We're going to let you slide, get to our third-place finisher here. Before we do, is there anyone you want to thank?
I just want to, say I'm glad everybody could come together for this memorial and, raise a lot of money. I mean, really a good thing for everybody to come and do. So I'm just glad we was all able to help out and do what we could do.
Absolutely a worthy cause. Again, congratulations, Steve. Maybe we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you.
With Steve Naylor, your second place finisher. Next, we're going to go to Mark Collins. Bring Mark in the broadcast booth. Thought he had a shot at a win here, but again, P3 of the Jimmy Strong number 23. Mark, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Congratulations, man. A top 3 finish. Again, it really looked like you had a shot there at the victory. Just wasn't meant to be. Walk us through really the race, your strategies coming in, and your thoughts out of turn 4 coming to the flag.
Well, I was working with Evie, Paul, Bennett, and Zeth the whole race. I think that green flag pit stops, we were in a catbird seat to have a chance at finishing probably 1, 2, 3 if it went green, but the caution came out. We were just pitted a little bit early to try to maybe get ahead of them, the guys that maybe couldn't make it, because I know people were trying to save gas there at the end, but then that caution came out and kind of threw that out the window.
Caution certainly changed the strategies for a lot of drivers. It seemed that some guys were going to try and push it to the end. I just didn't see how anyone was going to make it that didn't pit. But we didn't have to worry about it. A couple of green-white checkers and then a thrilling finish. What was the view out your windshield coming to the checkered flag?
Yeah, that last caution came out, I was like 19th, 20th, and then I came out 4th. I was like, holy crap. And then those last couple of laps, I tried to go high above Naylor, but my health didn't really get too close to my bumper. I didn't get a real good push, so that inside line started moving, and then they started wrecking there at the finish, and I just went to the wall and said, let's go to the finish line.
Hold her wide open and pray.
Yeah. I almost got Naylor at the finish line.
Almost. Still a P3 finish. Nothing to be upset about. Good run here. Again, a worthy cause for the race, but we're going to let you go. Thanks for talking to us. Do you have anybody you want to thank before you get out of here?
I want to thank Evie for letting me run with him all race, and he said whatever we win in there as a team that he's going to match and donate to the DEP family, and I'm going to throw my $25 back toward them too.
Another stand-up move by a top 3 finisher. I think the same happened to the guys I talked to prior to you. It's really cool to see. You do see that quite a bit, these memorial races or support races when there's money on the line. Congratulations again, P3. Maybe we'll see you at the next one.
All right, thank you, man.
It's Mark Collins, your third-place finisher here at Talladega Super Speedway. That's going to wrap it up for our driver interviews, but let's pull Derek Welch into the broadcast booth and get a word with Derek. Derek kind of put this all together. I'm sure he obviously had some help doing it, but he spearheaded the whole thing. Derek, it's Steve. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, Derek, a successful race. I mean, it went off really well. It was a great finish. It's a fun one to watch, fun one to call. I'm sure you wished you were out there. I know you're a little under the weather, but how was it up there in the tower?
It was easy. It was easy calling this race. The guys, that's the guys. You put a money race together, you know how they could turn out. Everybody's just full-fledged tire race, wrecking each other. But I was very impressed. Most everybody in this race was NTRL guys, other than the Lone Star guys, and everybody was pretty much giving each other room, and I was very impressed, and it was very easy to race control this race. And thank God for that, because I'm coming down with a flu, and I'm so ready to go to bed here in a little bit. But man, I appreciate everybody that's donated. Appreciate these guys. This turned out way better than I ever imagined it would be. The NTRL community really came together, and we're sending almost over $1,000 to the DEP family, and that is amazing. And I would have never thought it. And DEP, he is speechless. I talked to him last night, and he is speechless. And it's gonna help it's gonna help him and his family a lot.
It's what it's all about, for sure. And you did a good job with it. I mean, you brought a lot of guys in here. I know this thing, it came together pretty quickly on your end, and it took a lot of work in the background to get it done. I know we stepped up right away, said I'd be happy to cover this right off the bat, no questions asked. As long as I've got it available, I'm here to do it. But you did the hard part. I just sat here and watched the race.
Yeah. I got a good team behind me, man. Like Mark Collins, he's pretty much the co-owner of this league. He helps me out a lot, and I got a great team behind me and helps me with all this stuff. And just like Vincent helps me a lot with admin, and he helped me tonight. And we was able to call and fish a race for everybody and keep everything fair and pretty much up to good called race. And it really wasn't hard to put together, to be honest with you. I put it out there and everybody started signing up and started sending donations left and right. I mean, it was unreal. It really wasn't hard to put together.
Well, in all honesty, I mean, it kind of goes to show the respect that you get from your team and the guys that are racing in the leagues. You don't always get that kind of turnout that quickly just because, hey, the post is up. This is what we want to do. Let's do it. Well, I mean, as well as anybody, we had one of these things lined up a week or two ago. You were going to race in it, and it fell through because they didn't have enough guys showing up. So good on you for running the league the way that you do. Guys are certainly happy, and they're willing to help out, so that's always good to see. So congratulations and kudos to you on that.
Thank you, brother, and thanks for the broadcast, man.
Yes,
Excellent
sir.
job, like always.
All right, Derek. Well, if there's anything else, feel free. We're going to talk a little bit more about some merchandise and thank the sponsors before we get out of here. But do you have anybody else that you want to thank before I let you get out of here?
Just thank everybody that raced tonight. Great, respectful race. Everybody raced clean. Everybody at Numb Thumbs game and NTRL. Everybody that participates in all three of our leads is amazing. You, HBR TV, AAA Broadcasting, everybody that's involved, the entire team here at NTRL, it's been an amazing ride, and I'm thankful. And DP, we love you, brother. We're praying for you, and we're always here for you.
Real quick before we get out of here, we weren't able to catch it on the stream in the practice session, but Derek had mentioned to me privately that the paint scheme that's on Derek's truck was actually designed by Jimmy himself, and you can see it on our screen right now in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So just so everybody's aware, Jimmy designed that truck for Derek.
Yes, I think it actually was put on an ARCA car for me, and DP put it on the truck, and I was supposed to lead the field around before the start of the race, but I got disqualified, so I couldn't do it. So but anyway, I put it out there during the practice session, let everybody see it, and it's something that he actually did himself, so it's pretty awesome.
Very cool. Well, Derek, thanks for coming up and chatting with us, man. Again, thanks for the opportunity for the broadcast. I was happy to do it, and man, you guys just put on a great show tonight, so I appreciate that.
Thank you, brother.
It was Derek Welch, the Numb Thumbs Racing League co-owner. He put this thing on here, certainly with some help in the background, but put on a good race, did a good job with it. So certainly congratulations to those guys. And again, thank them for having HBR TV bringing in. Again, you mentioned AAA Broadcasting. They are an alternate broadcasting platform for Numb Thumbs. They kind of switch a little bit between us, a lot with them, and we fill in where we can. It works. It's a pretty good relationship. They've got two different groups working together, and it's the way that it is. So check those guys out too. AAA Broadcasting, I believe they broadcast most or all of their races also on YouTube, so check them out as well. Speaking of sponsors, though, again, we want to thank, obviously, Numb Thumbs Racing League, JP Designs and 3D Prints, Track Bar Media, Depth Graphics, Admin Box, Sim Central Gear, Davidson Builders, and Track Dogs Racing, all playing a part in the events here tonight and within the league as a whole long term. So certainly appreciate their participation. And again, there is still merch available. Jimmy Strong hats, t-shirts, hoodies, you name it. Check out trackdogsracing.com for details on that if you want to purchase one of those. And sure, definitely hook you up for just that. Taking a look at our official race results from tonight. Of course, we talked to our top three finishers. Juan Jimenez, Steve Naylor, Mark Collins, and then Kevin Winker finished fourth. Thought he was lined up for sure for a win. Just didn't pan out for the 42. Fifth was Gavin Ray. Timothy Poth finished P6. Richard Gray was 7th. Even after that issue where he pit all by himself, still managed to get back up into the top 10. So nice work by Richard Gray. Kevin Delia thought he was going to win this thing. He was getting a big-time push from Juan Jimenez coming to the stripe, and unfortunately got crossed up, made contact with another truck, and around he goes. Big wreck ensued. Still finished in the top 10 in the 8th spot. Mike Adamson, the 751, was 9th. Timmy Stubblefield was 10th. Paul Durkee was 11th. Drew Prale, 12th. Dave Hoitzma was 13th. Dylan Bryant finished in the 14th position. Paul Ferdiani finished 15th. After a late race crash, thought he was a big-time contender for the win here late. Drew Blaze was 16th, 1 lap down. Dave Harden, 17th, a lap down. Alan Brown was 18th, 1 lap down. Matt Smith, 19th, 2 laps down. Joe Hoggard, 20th. 21st, Albert Anderson, 3 laps down for Anderson. He looked a big-time contender, won the pole position, led a lot of laps, and then just didn't get panned out here. Obviously involved in an incident late. Dana Shepard, 22nd. Mike Fahey, 23rd. Justin Johnson, 24th. Chris Klein was 25th. Brandon Coleman was 26th. Double out Joe Bennett finished 27th. Justin Lawson, again, a contender at the front of the field for a little while. He finished 28th. Zeth Hawley was 29th. Chandler Paul, 30th. Let's see here. And Jeff Ottinger was 31st. Last but not least, again, the rest of these drivers, Vincent Short, Tom Barish, Justin Morrow, Derek Welch, all working in the background here for Numb Thumbs Gaming, trying to make this thing go off without a hitch, and they did just that. So congratulations to our winners, really everyone that participated tonight. It's about showing support for the iRacing families and really anybody that's gone through this. It's unimaginable. You can't fathom losing one of your own like that. It's difficult, but glad we could be there and be in support of that family. Just went off really well. Got to thank all you guys for watching. Had a big crowd here in the stream. Bunch of you guys in the stream chat. Really do appreciate all the positive feedback from everyone involved. If you guys haven't already done it, please like, follow, share, subscribe to both of our platforms. We broadcast on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. That's where all of our broadcasted races are aired unless otherwise mentioned on the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/HBRTV and the number 1. You won't get a ton of posts there, so if you turn on the notifications, really for the most part, all you're going to see are notifications about live stream links on the YouTube side. Once in a while, we'll post something interesting, racing related, that kind of deal. But please turn on the notifications, give the stream a like and a follow. It really does help us out. It pushes this kind of thing to a wider audience. Maybe some guys will find some interest in it, especially if they're into iRacing or even gaming in general or broadcasting. So please do that. It does help us quite a bit. And once again, thank you guys all for watching. Thanks for the participation, and please join us at the next one. Have a good night, everybody.